Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Starfield Shattered Space on the Xbox Series X. Today's mission is Passive Redemption. We have to go talk to Region Akmal. So that's where we're going, and that's what we're going to do. Here we go.
The work never ends.
Sorry about that audio bug. My volume was turned up.
The Great Serpent will deliver us from this. I know it.
Hello. Shall we speak for a moment? I welcome you, fellow traveler. Have you come seeking redemption for your sins? Or has your journey brought you here for some other purpose?
Are you a priest?
Nothing of the sort. I'm just an old man seeking solace in troubled times.
I was just looking around. Thank you.
An explorer as well as a traveler, then. I suspect you have yet to walk the path of redemption. There is no cause for shame. We must each choose the time that is right for us to make the journey. I would be happy to explain the custom, if you like.
Please do, yes.
Ah, thank you, my friend. Your kindness is a gift, for it brings me happiness to speak of the path. Spread across the land are 4 way shrines. Each offers words that describe a pillar of our society. To sin against the Great Serpent demands an act of absolution. We first come here to pray for forgiveness, and then we make a journey. We travel to each of the way shrines, reading their words and contemplating their meaning. When that is done, we return here to renew our pledge of devotion to the Great Serpent. In this way, we are redeemed.
For redemption, I will walk the path.
Good. Our sins are a burden that weigh us down. Walk the path and cast them off. Reclaim your place among the chosen.
Are you sure? This could take some time.
Time must be made for that which is important. You should join your companion on the journey. Perhaps you too will learn something.
We will see. But I would not get your hopes up, old man.
Dang.
No, of course not. I only wish that it be an enlightening experience for you. Here, you'll need this. It's my copy of the original Path of Redemption, written years ago by the honored Ranchik Dosa. It was he who first walked the path, guided by the Great Serpent. Begin reading it here, and follow the steps carefully. I shall await your return. I'm quite curious to know what you make of the experience.
Okay.
Voice it.
All right. In a dream, the Great Serpent visited upon me divine visions, commanding me to make 5 plaques etched with words to guide the faithful, lest we become lax in our devotion. When this work was done, another vision came to me, and in this way the Great Serpent made his will known. The plaques I had forged were to be placed at 5 sites, chosen by contemplation, that those who had sinned might find absolution. In accord with the first vision, I journeyed north from the city walls until I'd found the first ordained site. Here I placed my first plaque, and then I prayed for guidance. I lifted my eyes to the heavens, and behold, a bright streak across the sky. A falling star had landed on a high peak just to the east, and I knew my next destination. So, guided, I set out eastward, with the city on my right along the ridge of the plateau. I walked until my steps took me to a tower where lost souls listened to the howling winds. Before reaching the tower, I turned left and, putting the city at my back, descended to the valley floor and up the slope on the far side. Upon reaching the summit, I placed a second plaque. I prayed again for long hours, awaiting a sign. The sun was now rising, and when I looked once more into the sky, I spied a long, thin cloud. As I watched this cloud, twisted and coiled in the shape of a serpent, its head facing northwest. The great serpent will once again made clear to me. Oh, the great serpent's will once again made clear to me. I clambered down the floor of the canyon and turned northwest. I traveled along the path through the valley until I reached the roadside shrine near a small grove of trees and continued west along the path. Beyond a place where power was taken from the depths, I turned northward along a trail, with a mountain rising before me. As the valley widened, I could see a plateau to my left. I had to search around until I finally discovered a cleft in the rocky face that I could climb. It was an arduous, winding path to the summit, but I was rewarded with a magnificent view. I placed my next plaque and once again knelt in prayer. I was roused by a mighty gust of winds that stirred the loose earth, causing it to swirl upward into a whirling shape, not unlike a pair of dancing snakes. The spinning dust began to move, and I followed. I spied a path leading south across the top of the plateau with the city before me. Following this, I began descending from the plateau near some water tanks and pumping equipment. Far to the west and south, I could see a high peak that I knew must be the serpent's chosen place for my next plaque. I descended into the misty canyons and pressed on, ever west and south, past a palace, past a place where machines, the purpose of which I did not know, whirred and hummed behind a tall metal fence. Just beyond this was a path that trekked southwest along a widening valley toward a cathedral of stone and arches above. As I went leftward, following the path around the arched stones, I continued upward. Soon the trail forked, and I followed the left branch ever upward. I passed smaller obelisks of worship on my way toward the summit. The climb was arduous, but the strength of the serpent filled my heart, and I finally reached the top. After I had placed the next plaque, I was overcome by the fatigue of my journey, and I passed into slumber. The great serpent rewarded my labors with a magnificent dream. I saw great way shrines atop the mountains I had climbed, all glimmering with silver and gold. The last of these was far to the south on a hill surrounded by square blocks of stone. I had not a shred of doubt that this was the place for my final plaque. Rising from my rest, I trekked west along the treacherous mountain path, curved south and then east, reaching the valley floor once again. I traveled southeast, trading the highlands for the gentler terrain of the foothills. My sore legs were glad of this. Past a humble goat farm, past tall, flat-topped rocks, I walked on, keeping the city on my left as I remained on the valley floor. As I passed a set of windmills on my right, the landscape opened up, and I spied my target ahead. Continuing along the trail gently downward, I at last glimpsed the great blocks of stone on a distant hilltop. By the serpent's mercy, this climb was much easier than the shrines of the north and west. When the last of the plaques was placed, I returned to my home and slept long. knowing I had done the Great Serpent's will. Oh, that's a good read.
The Great Serpent is clear to me.
As the coils of the Great Serpent create a divine circle, the path of redemption begins and ends here. One. Okay. Oh, redeemed. How wonderful. Okay.
I must.
Okay. We made it here. Read. From the Shrine of Redemption, our journey brings us here to read these words and remember the Great Serpent's teachings. The path of righteousness is one of hardship, toil, and sacrifice. In the face of adversity, we must not falter. Only with unshakable determination will be found worthy. Okay.
What was that?
Okay.
Run from me, will you?
Under devotion, which is actually the second. I went the wrong way the first time. I don't think it matters, but we'll make our way through all four of them in the correct order anyway. Alright, here we are. From the Shrine of Redemption, our journey brings us here to read the words and remember the Great Serpent's teaching. Each day and each night, all that we do and think must be in service of the Great Serpent, and none other. The true believer shuns the false gods of others, and only with minds unclouded by doubt will we be found worthy. Right. On to the third one. And here we are at our last one. I will show them all in order. once I get back to the fourth one. What's this? Penitent citizen.
Not much time for anything but work nowadays.
Alright, here we are. From the Shrine of Redemption, our journey brings us here to read the words and remember the Great Serpent's teachings. Our lives are not our own. We must place our trust in the wisdom and guidance of the Great Serpent, and his speaker will make ourselves the instruments of his will. Only in faithful service will we be found worthy. Okay. Okay, here we are. The Shrine of Strength. From the Shrine of Redemption, our journey brings us here to reach the words and remember the Great Serpent's teaching. When the time comes, we will answer the call of the crusade and blanket the stars in flame, burning away the unbelievers. When we march in the Great Serpent's name, only the mighty will be found worthy. Right. Okay, now I will show you the path where each one is. Okay, so we start here, the Way Shrine of Redemption. Here we go east to the Way Shrine of Devotion. We go northwest to the Way Shrine of Obedience. Then we go kind of southeast a little. Let me find it here. Hard for me to see. To the Way Shrine of Perseverance. Then we go southeast to the Way Shrine of Strength. And then it has you come back up here to the Redemption again. So that's where we're going. And here we are. We have walked the path of redemption and returned to the beginning.
May the Great Serpent guide your steps.
The
Wait,
Ministry of State executed Verk Vethal as a traitor. We must all remember our duty to root out heresy, even now.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Welcome back, traveler. Tell me, how was your journey?
It was illuminating. I learned what is truly important to the chosen.
It pleases me to hear you say so. Understanding is the beginning of wisdom. If you're willing to indulge the curiosity of a stranger, I have a few questions. What did you think of the words of devotion? Did you agree with them? Or did you have a different perspective?
Devotion can give a life purpose, but it must be given carefully.
It has certainly given my life a purpose. I can't imagine what I would do without it. As for the rest, I agree. Devotion given blindly will fade in time. True and lasting devotion must be given with the strength of conviction. If an old man can trust his intuition, then I sense that you're an independent soul. I think I can guess your answer, but I'll ask all the same. How did you feel about the words of obedience?
All right. Obedience to law and authority is the backbone of society.
Indeed. Law and authority provide society with order and structure. It's clear that is something we both appreciate. I'm sure we can both agree that nothing truly worthwhile is accomplished without perseverance.
Yep.
Did those words ring true for you?
Perseverance is important. It can compensate for a lack of ability.
I find that to be true as well. I'm reminded of my grandfather. He was a painter. His brush brought to life the most beautiful landscapes. As a child, I was fascinated by them. When I asked how he did it, he explained that it was not talent, but constant practice. You see, he was not born with great artistic gifts, but he made up for that with practice. That brings us to strength, and words that harken back to an older way of thinking. These words have the greatest appeal to the young and adventurous. Who does not wish to be strong? Many of us, however, see them as an uncomfortable reminder of a more violent time. As a result, there are many who question the value of the words of strength when compared to the rest. After all, is not strength the most likely to diminish with the passage of time?
With strength, you can accomplish anything you set out to do.
Many of our people would agree with you. And yet I wonder whether we sometimes confuse strength with aggression and power. There are many kinds of strength, after all. Well, you've been a patient listener, and I'll take up no more of your time. It's customary for one who completes the path of redemption to be given small gifts by friends and family. I don't have much to offer, but I would not see you leave empty-handed. Please, accept this. I thank you for your time and your insights. It has been a most interesting conversation.
Great Serpent, grant your mercy to this lost soul.
Hello. Until next time.
Well, there it is.
I overheard my neighbor forsaking the great serpent. What a fool. I've not seen him in days.
I wonder what happened to your neighbor then. All right. Well, there you have the path of redemption. I guess we're going to end it here. So if you made it this far, I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the show, consider leaving a like. A lot more on the list and a lot more to come. If you find something else you like, consider subscribing. But either way, click that notification bell. Let you know when I upload and go live. All of that's free and easy for you. And it helps the channel out immensely. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.